Watercolor pans. These are what we call the watercolor pans. Remember, you have to put water in them to make them work, and you would just paint them on with your paintbrush. You shouldn't have to scoop the paint out of the pan, and it shouldn't be sticky and gooey. It should be watery. Colored pencil. Did you know that you can color clay with colored pencil? You want to make sure that you have good sharpened colored pencils. Tempera paint. I'm painting this clay piece red with tempera paint, and then I'm going to let it dry. After painting my clay with red tempera paint and letting it dry, I'm taking white, just drying some of it off, and I'm going to paint over top of that with the white. And it really brings out the detail. Oil pastel and watered down black tempera paint. Color the clay with oil pastel. It's okay if the oil pastel doesn't go down into the little cracks and holes. And then paint over that with black tempera paint. And the oil pastel will resist the black tempera, and the black tempera will go down into the little holes and cracks. Liquid watercolor. This is liquid watercolor. A little bit goes a long way. Make sure that you rinse your brush before you switch colors. Construction paper crowns and liquid watercolor. Color your piece with the construction paper crowns. Then paint over that with the liquid watercolor. And the construction paper crowns will resist the paint. Mr. Sketch markers. This is a Mr. Sketch marker, and I'm just coloring on the clay with it. Next to the water containers is a tub with water and soap, and we're going to do things a little differently now. When you're finished with your paintbrush, you don't need to wash it, just drop it in here and it will be washed later. In the painting studio, you can find the black watered down tempera paint here next to the watercolor pans. These are the trays for mixing paint, and here are the liquid watercolors. You know that the tempera paint is here. Remember that when you use the tempera paint, you should take the entire tray of paint back to your table. Do not take 1 cup of paint and take it back to your table, because then there will be a tray that's missing a color and they get mixed up. When you're mixing tempera paints, use these trays. And there's no need to actually take these out and pour them onto the tray. What you can do, I'm going to mix a light blue. I'm going to take white first and just scoop some onto the tray. And then, since I don't want to get white in here, I'm going to rinse my brush off and then take a paper towel and dry it so it's not going to get dirty water in this color, and then I'm going to mix it on the tray. And that is how you mix tempera paints.